Coming up inside LSU Gymnastics, the Fighting Tigers leap over the 197 mark and right over the top of NC State in front of a packed Maravich Center. We'll have all of the great highlights coming up for you. And if you really want to have a nice sit down with Lexi Priestman, we're going to have that for you, as well as a look ahead to LSU versus Kentucky back in the SEC coming up this coming Friday. We'll have all of that and so much more inside LSU Gymnastics right now.
Inside LSU Gymnastics with Dee Bro is brought to you each week by Woman's Hospital. When experience matters, choose Woman's Hospital. TJ Ribs, legendary Louisiana barbecue. Dow. For more than 60 years, Dow has been a dedicated teammate for LSU. Go Tigers! And Assurance Financial. When you find the home you want to buy, choose a mortgage lender that can help you buy it. David Alello with Assurance Financial. Lending the way home buyers prefer it. Call David today to get pre-approved. 225-921-8152. Inside LSU Gymnastics with Dee Bro is an exclusive presentation of the LSU Sports Television Network.
Welcome inside LSU Gymnastics. Along with LSU head coach Dee Bro, I'm Mike Smith from the LSU Gymnastics Training Center on the LSU campus in Baton Rouge. We're delighted to have you with us once again because we have loads of wonderful highlights from LSU at North Carolina State from the Maravich Center. Over 12,000 fans watched the Fighting Tigers leap over the 197 mark, and it was an amazing effort, and we'll get to all those highlights momentarily. Let's bring in head coach Dee Bro into the broadcast. Dee, it was an amazing effort by your Tigers, firmly now in the top 5 nationally. Over 197 is your season average for the first time. You guys are beginning to really roll.
Well, 197 is that magical number. You really want to push that number. You want to stay there and get better from that point. And that's the thing that we've stressed with this team is we need to get better. We need to make small steps forward as we move through the season. We need to get stronger, get more consistent, have our gymnastics reach its best level of gymnastics as we approach the middle to the end of our season.
You were fond of saying greater later, and it appears now as we're nearing the halfway point of the season, that is precisely what's beginning to happen with your Tigers. And let's take a look at the highlights, brought to you as always by TJ Ribs, legendary Louisiana barbecue. Sarah Finnegan's 995 start value is just a number because that beautiful vault flies over that horse and just lands so soft.
Yeah, it was a great start, and I think it's a statement when you put your best all-around athlete out there as your leadoff person in vaulting, and she did a great job. And McKenna Kelly, you know, this is like maybe her 3rd time vaulting and did a fabulous job. We're really excited about how that vault's developing.
And I think she's excited to be in that lineup too. More on McKenna coming up in a couple of rotations, but then you start to really round out Sarah Edwards. Nice to see her back in the vaulting lineup.
Yeah, we've had some inconsistencies with her, and you know, I said we want to be consistent. Really gave us a great vault. She's got so much spring. She's just full of pop, and when she hits the floor, we need to settle down and be able to control that landing. But right now, having her in the air is critically important.
It was indeed. And then, of course, Kennedy Edney once again in the anchor spot. 995. It was a thing of beauty Friday night.
That was beautiful. And don't you love the excitement when she lands?
Absolutely.
That's her signature landing enthusiasm.
Yeah, that's it. Throws the hands down, and the crowd throws their hands up.
What a crowd.
Wasn't it, though?
They were so fired up.
And how about the student section real quick?
Gotta love the student section.
I believe the best in the entire country. They were truly amazing. And so were the Tigers on vaulting 49.325. Again, you flip it over to the uneven bars in rotation number 2. We're going to talk about an exceptional performance.
Yeah.
That bars team was on.
Yeah, they did a great job.
It really was. And, you know, it was great to see Bailey Ferrer in the bars lineup as well.
Yeah, you know, Sammy got a little bit of a concussion going on. She took a fall in the early warm-up, but Bailey went in, Bridget went in. Our first 2 people did a fine job for us, but then the end of that lineup, Ruby, I think probably the best bar routine we've seen thus far. Beautiful job.
Tied her season high.
Yeah, and stuck the landing, and that face that lights up is so much fun. But then, you know, Kennedy Edney, she goes, stuck the landing, beautiful, beautiful bar routine. Her release move's beginning to have some flight to it, and that's
one of the things I saw.
High above the bar. Really, really good. Lexi Priestman finally feels good.
Yeah.
You know, she was sick for a long stint of a week, and first she had migraines, then she was sick. So I mean, that really drags you down. But beautiful, beautiful bar routine, as you can see. Great swing and beautiful landing. Yeah. Then you bring it home with Sarah Finnegan. And what a great bar routine. When you look at the handstand positions and the rhythm of her swing is so good. Then you cap it off with a stuck landing. And I got to give it to Jay Clark. That was a performance of the week. That was fabulous.
49.5 for the uneven bars, and there you are at 98.8 plus at the halfway point of the meet, which is right about where you want to be week in and week out. So what are you thinking now? You've got the first half of the meet behind you, and you're getting ready to go over to the balance beam that we'll talk about after the break. But here you are, 98.8.
Momentum. You got to keep your momentum going. You've got to keep your energy high. And you know that we've gotten rid of the buys in our postseason. So it's important that the rhythm that you get in this competition, every competition, becomes a team habit, a team pattern.
Boy, that is so wise for you to mention that. And I know we'll talk more about that as we progress in future shows. But right after this quick timeout, it's the third and fourth rotations of LSU and North Carolina State from a packed PMAC. More coming up right after this.
When you're expecting, you have expectations. But what if there was more? What if your caregivers were your teachers and your cheerleaders, and they helped you plan and prepare so you can have a voice in your care? This is the experience of a lifetime, and experience matters. Your experience starts with the Pregnancy Navigator at Women's Hospital.
This is Academy Sports and Outdoors. We offer a huge sports and outdoors selection of top name brand gear like you've never seen. All at low prices like you've never seen. Because we're a sports and outdoor store like you've never seen. Visit us in-store or at academy.com for the guaranteed lowest prices. Academy Sports and Outdoors, for all for less.
Big day today. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a normal day in a normal place with normal crawfish prepared 36 ways. Maybe today you'll make that breakthrough, and maybe tonight you'll break through too. Maybe it'll rain, maybe you'll shine, or today could just be one of those days. For the unpredictable and the unencumbered, at LSU, maybe counts for a little something extra. Maybe? Absolutely.
When you're more than a fan, the game never ends. Greatness doesn't live in the end zone, at the net, or above the rim.
It lives within every LSU student athlete, and it's your calling to bring out their greatness.
On the field, in the classroom, and in life.
We are the Tiger Athletic Foundation. For decades, we've been the team behind our Tigers. Join us. Be more than a fan.
This segment of Inside LSU Gymnastics is brought to you by Assurance Financial. When you find the home you want to buy, choose a mortgage lender that can help you buy it. David Alello with Assurance Financial. Lending the way homebuyers prefer it.
Welcome back inside LSU Gymnastics. You know, Dee Dee, we mentioned in the last segment, we mentioned that the bars team had an exceptional performance. As a matter of fact, how about we give them the exceptional performance of the week? Our exceptional performance of the week brought to you as always by Women's Hospital. When experience matters, count on Women's.
Well, they just rolled right through there. The consistency that they built, especially when we had to juggle the first two in that lineup. Bailey Ferrer went in for a Sammy Durante, who is a stay in that event, and did a fabulous job. So that's kind of the glue that held it together, and then the end of that lineup just brought it home.
Absolutely did. Capped off by Sarah Finnegan's 9.95. As we mentioned, 49.5 on the uneven bars. The Tigers bars team is our exceptional performance of the week. Speaking of exceptional, we always go right over to the balance beam, Dee Dee, and you can see that Christina Desiderio in the leadoff spot, followed by Bridget Dean in the lineup this particular week. I know you're starting to work some depth over there on balance
Well,
beam.
and we wanted to put McKenna in, and Sammy was our alternate because we had already made that, and McKenna went in, and we felt like steady. Did a good job, did what we needed her to do. We've got to make some adjustments in her routine as we move forward. But then Kennedy Edney gets up, a great routine, solid throughout the routine, sets up
Reagan Campbell.
Reagan Campbell. What a beautiful routine.
Absolutely.
I love her rhythm. I love how she carries herself on the beam, and a beautiful, beautiful finish. So.
She appears to be made for the event. When you take a peek at her routine and how she handles herself, just an amazing beam worker.
Well, and it comes from an amazing beam working program.
Wow.
You know, Kim Zemeskel has really, really trained some great kids, and Reagan Campbell's one of those.
Absolutely is. And then, you know, speaking of Olympians and speaking of world class, Sarah Finnegan in that anchor spot. You know, is there a more beautiful beam worker in all of the nation? I don't know if I can find one.
Just beautiful, and you just look at her rhythm and look at the extension in her leaps and everything that she does, and then the amplitude in the aerial and the big dismount, and you know, it's a dismount that the judges really expect you to stick, and she does it every time.
And you know, real quick, what really sticks out to me about Sarah Finnegan are, you know, the intangibles, all of the attention to detail in that routine. Season high 9.95 score for her on balance beam.
Right.
And the Tigers then, you know, we hold up the four fingers as always. The crowd comes to their feet. Well over 1,000 students at the Maravich Center on Friday night. They are excited. It's floor time.
Yeah.
And the Fighting Tigers, you get off to a great start to Christina Desiderio with a 9.825, and then you're starting to sniff out a 197 as a team. You can kind of take a peek and see what's in store.
Yeah, but you know, you go to the end of that lineup, and when you look at what Sarah Finnegan did, a beautiful, beautiful routine. It's flawless. It's beautiful. Lots of difficulty throughout the routine. She sets up McKenna Kelly, and you know, McKenna getting her back in the lineup. Now, you know, this has been a work in progress, and I felt like her performance Friday night is approaching the quality of performance that we need to see from her week in and week out, and that'll take a little bit of pressure out of the preparation, and we can begin to really settle into a rhythm of her preparation and not so hard training.
Well, and McKenna does settle in 9.975, does get the reward of a perfect 10 from one of the two judges on the panel Friday night. And you know, as we close out this segment, let's pause and talk a minute about McKenna, because she was in 3 events.
Yeah.
And I thought by and large had one of her better all-around meets as a Fighting Tiger.
Well, and it's the way she handled herself. I mean, she has expressed, I want to do more, I want to contribute more, and by allowing her to be in that beam lineup, I think really kind of opens the door for her to be a 3-event person moving through the end of the season, and you know, and it gives us a little bit of breather, and we can let Sammy get well.
Well, and I wanted to also touch on that because I know a lot of Tiger fans were a bit concerned as they saw, as we said, packed house and the incident that did happen there in the warm-up. But she looks like she's on her feet and is going to have a full recovery.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's going to be fine. It's just going to take some time because she's got to be symptom-free for, you know, a few days before we can even get her back in the gym. But just the excitement in that crowd, and you know, the band, our pep band, brings so much excitement because you know they're doing the first down, playing the first down when we land and have a good performance, and they just keep the energy up with the yellow pom-poms and all the kids screaming and hollering, and it was a great event.
Our good friend Bart Connor is fond of saying a football atmosphere wrapped up with a gymnastics bow in the PMAC, and that's kind of what we have each and every week. When we come back, we have so much more for you straight ahead inside LSU Gymnastics. Stay right where you are.
This is Academy Sports and Outdoors. We offer a huge sports and outdoors selection of top name brand gear like you've never seen. All at low prices like you've never seen. Because we're a sports and outdoor store like you've never seen. Visit us in store or at academy.com for the guaranteed lowest prices. Academy Sports and Outdoors, for all for less.
When you find the home you want to buy, choose a mortgage lender that can help you buy it. David Alello with Assurance Financial. David specializes in helping first-time home buyers, offering conventional FHA, VA, RD construction, and jumbo loans. David takes the hassle out of getting a home loan while making you feel right at home. Lending the way you like it. Call David today at 921-8152. That's 921-8152. David Alello with Assurance Financial.
When company comes to town,
company's coming!
We go all out. All you gotta do is get down here and visit Baton Rouge.
The 2019 SEC Gymnastics Championship is headed to New Orleans, Louisiana on Saturday, March 23rd, where the elite student athletes in the country will compete for the SEC Gymnastics Championship title. We'll see you in the Big Easy at Smoothie King Center on March 23rd. For more information and to purchase your tickets, visit secsports.com. SEC Gymnastics, it just means more.
Big day today. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a normal day in a normal place with normal crawfish prepared 36 ways. Maybe today you'll make that breakthrough. And maybe tonight you'll break through too. Maybe it'll rain. Maybe you'll shine. Or today could just be one of those days. For the unpredictable and the unencumbered, at LSU, maybe counts for a little something extra. Maybe? Absolutely.
This segment of Inside LSU Gymnastics is brought to you by TJ Ribs. TJ Ribs, legendary Louisiana barbecue.
For more than 60 years, Dow has been a trusted teammate of the Fighting Tigers. Dow Chemical says, go Tigers. Dee Dee, our feature this week, the one and only Lexi Priestman. An opportunity to go home for her, in a sense.
Yeah.
Coming up on Friday as the Fighting Tigers travel to the University of Kentucky in Lexington.
Relative to travel for Lexi's family, who, you know, this family will get in the car after school because her mother's a teacher, get in the car after school and drive wherever she needs to be. Wow. To watch Lexi compete. So, I mean, this has been going on for a lifetime. This this didn't just start yesterday. So I know that they're relieved to be able to merely drive to Lexington from Cincinnati has got to be a huge relief.
Well, let's sit down with Lexi Priestman now and hear in her own words what it's going to be like to go back home.
All-American and SEC champion Lexi Priestman will likely have the largest cheering contingent this weekend in Lexington, Kentucky. The Ohio native will be surrounded by her family, many of whom will travel from the Cincinnati area down to Memorial Coliseum. Priestman is one of 7 Tigers who are more than 800 miles from home, enrolling at LSU to work with Dee Dee Bro and her coaching staff of Jay Clark and Bob Moore. Lexi has always appreciated the long distances her family travels to see her compete.
LSU to Cincinnati is about 13 and a half hours. So my family travels a far away to come see me compete. Flights aren't cheap, so they do drive a lot. My mom tries to make every meet, and when she can't make one, she gets really upset. And I'm just like, Mom, it's okay if you can't make a meet, but you know, she just wants to show her support nonstop, and she has been that person who has been there for me every step of the way. So when I see her making that drive even by herself, it just makes me feel comfortable knowing that, you know, my mom's my #1 supporter, my #1 fan always, and to be able to go to her and trust her with everything means so much to me.
In 2017, Lexi and LSU registered an emphatic win at Kentucky in front of dozens of the Priestman's family and friends. Lexi anchored the bars lineup, winning the event with a stellar 9.925. But the individual title wasn't nearly as special as the crowd she performed in front of that day.
My grandma, actually, that was the first meet that she'd ever seen me compete at, and she was able to make it there, and that meant the world to me because my grandma and I are really close, and she's kind of been like a role model to me growing up, and I feel like I'm a lot like her in a lot of ways. Also, my dad, that was his first meet that he was really able to come watch and be a part of, so it was special to look up in the stands and see him there. I remember the first time seeing him that I did get emotional. Being able to look in the stands and see not only my family but my friends as well, and maybe old teammates and their parents, that means the world to me, to be able to look in the stands and say, hey, I know these people and I feel so comfortable with them.
For Priestman, the amplified cheering section doesn't create more pressure during her competition. She remains focused on executing her routine.
When I compete, I just go out there and I'm just like, it's one more routine. Go do your job. I might not feel 100%, or maybe I'm only feeling 80%, but if I just go out there and I do my gymnastics and the team does their gymnastics, we're completely going to be fine. And then knowing that my family's there to watch and friends, looking in the stands just gives me more confidence in myself.
Priestman also feels the Kentucky meet will be a showcase for LSU's best performance of the year.
It's time just to go out there and do what we can do as an LSU gymnastics program. And then also just to have all the fans there supporting us and looking in the stands and seeing purple and gold, maybe more than blue, just would be the best for us.
Reporting for Inside LSU Gymnastics, I'm Garrett Walbert.
This is Academy Sports and Outdoors. We offer a huge sports and outdoors selection of top name brand gear like you've never seen. All at low prices like you've never seen. Because we're a sports and outdoor store like you've never seen. Visit us in store or at academy.com for the guaranteed lowest prices. Academy Sports and Outdoors, for all for less.
It's times like these when you've got to stay centered. The 2018 Nissan Rogue, with available Pro Pilot Assist that can help keep you centered in your lane. Experience it only at your local Nissan store. Now the most exciting tech you own is in your driveway.
Get to Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics.
This is the Nelson family.
Wi-Fi's good.
And their panoramic Wi-Fi from Cox.
Connected here.
They're helping us demonstrate the speed and coverage of its super fast signal.
Here it comes!
It covers every device and every inch of their home.
He's coming back up!
And with extenders, every room is connected. Cover every corner of your home with super fast panoramic Wi-Fi from Cox.
At Dudley DeBosier, we're proud to serve Tiger Nation as the official injury lawyers of LSU Athletics.
To us, that means when one of you gets knocked down, we're there to pick you up.
And hopefully, we're making Louisiana a little safer in the process.
We take pride in fighting for our fellow Tiger fans.
It's a great responsibility, but even a greater honor. Demand Dudley DeBosier, the official injury lawyers of LSU Athletics. 444-4444.
The 2019 SEC Gymnastics Championship is headed to New Orleans, Louisiana on Saturday, March 23rd, where the elite student athletes in the country will compete for the SEC Gymnastics Championship title. We'll see you in the Big Easy at Smoothie King Center on March 23rd. For more information and to purchase your tickets, visit secsports.com. SEC Gymnastics, it just means more.
When you're more than a fan, the game never ends. Greatness doesn't live in the end zone, at the net, or above the rim.
It lives within every LSU student athlete, and it's your calling to bring out their greatness.
On the field, in the classroom, and in life.
We are the Tiger Athletic Foundation. For decades, we've been the team behind our Tigers. Join us. Be more than a fan.
This segment of Inside LSU Gymnastics is brought to you by Dow. Dow. For more than 60 years, Dow has been a dedicated teammate for LSU. Go Tigers!
Welcome back inside LSU Gymnastics. It's now time for our look ahead, brought to you as always by our friends with Assurance Financial, lending the way homebuyers prefer it. Dee Dee, another chance to get right back into the SEC action after a week off against North Carolina State. You're back going to Lexington to take on the Wildcats, a program that has been surging of late. And I know you relish the opportunity to get right back in the thick of things in the SEC.
You know, there's so much parity in the SEC. You've got to bring your best game week in and week out. You can't get back on your heels. You know, we're excited. We're excited. You know, we're cautiously optimistic about Sammy. But, you know, everybody else has got little aches and pains, but everybody does. And excited about getting out there and competing away again.
We are absolutely in the big stride right here at the middle way of the season. Dee Dee, we're excited. The team really seems like that 197 Barry. You've kind of gotten that behind you, and you're setting your sights on what the rest of the season, you know, has to offer. And I know that's an exciting thing for you guys.
Yeah, and we're hosting so much of our postseason and in a new format. So, you know, the preparation and the season and how we manage ourselves right now is critically important to the success of the end of the season.
It is indeed, and we'll look forward to having all of the highlights for you. LSU at Kentucky next week right here inside LSU Gymnastics. We'll see you next week.
Inside LSU Gymnastics with Dee Dee Bro has been brought to you by Women's Hospital. When experience matters, choose Women's Hospital. TJ Ribs, legendary Louisiana barbecue. Dow, for more than 60 years, Dow has been a dedicated teammate for LSU. Go Tigers! And by Assurance Financial. When you find the home you want to buy, choose a mortgage lender that can help you buy it. David Alello with Assurance Financial. Lending the way homebuyers prefer it. Call David today to get pre-approved. 225-921-8152. Inside LSU Gymnastics with Dee Dee Bro is an exclusive presentation of the LSU Sports Television Network. The LSU Sports Television Network is a division of LSU Sports Properties.
This crowd was treated to 2 perfect 10s. Begging for mercy. Congratulations to the LSU Tigers, the SEC regular season champs.